Good afternoon and welcome back into War Memorial Stadium for the 2022 PCL playoffs. Hayden Bandel still here with you on the Tidewater Summer League YouTube channel. We just witnessed the Greenbrier Knights finish off the Suffolk Voyagers to advance to the semifinals with now a date against the Edenton Steamers. That means that the winner of this matchup will face the Tarboro River Bandits. The Virginia Beach Sea Dogs have taken every meeting in the regular season, as we show you this graphic that we have produced. They've taken every meeting, and so the Sea Dogs looking for a clean sweep in the postseason. The Sea Dogs are not only the Sea Dogs today, they're also not the underdogs, as they are the 4 seed. They took every meeting against the Redbirds in the regular season. The reason we're at War Memorial today, I mentioned this in the previous broadcast, is because Lakewood Park took a toll of rain yesterday, and Commissioner Dooley wanted to get these games done today in order for pitchers to have a normal day of rest rather than having to possibly pitch back-to-back days for whichever team advances. Now the starting pitchers for today on the mound for the Redbirds is Jacob Reganey. Here are his numbers as a starter this season. He started in the first game between these two teams and went 4 innings, allowing 4 runs, but 3 of them were unearned. And for the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs, it will be Robert Hatcher. Hatcher, as a starter, is on the mound right now. Has not allowed an earned run. He went 3 scoreless innings in his 1 start against the Redbirds in the regular season. His first pitch is rolled over to Bryce Lane, the third baseman. And Logan Stein is retired for out number 1. I'll bring up Bryce Jones, who's batting second, playing center field. And he lays off the first pitch from Hatcher outside, 1-0. So Logan Stein, he led off, rolled over the first pitch, the third. Bryce Jones, the center fielder, batting second. Stein gets the start in left and lays off 2-0. Then it'll be Jake Gensler. Gensler going to be DHing today in the 3-hole. And it'll be Aiden Feather, the best hitter in the Redbird lineup. He's starting at second as Jones lays off that pitch, and now it's 3-0. Wes Bonney will be starting at third base today in the 5-hole. Then it'll be Zach Jarnowski, Trey Wright, Trevor Self, and Justin Lakos. There's a 3-0 strike fired in by Hatcher. Can get a bit hectic with these doubleheaders games back-to-back, just trying to fill out the lineup cards. As the 3-1 is hit up the middle of the diamond and into center field for the first hit of the game off of the bat of Bryce Jones. So the lefty reaches base. So defensively, Zach Jarnowski, who's batting 6th, he'll be the first baseman. Trey Wright is going to be the right fielder. Trevor Self will be the behind the plate batting 8th. Justin Lakos, the 9-hole, is the shortstop. Gensler gets the signs from his head coach, Chris Dodolo, over at third base, with Jack Markey, his assistant, at first. First pitch from the stretch from Hatcher. And it's fired across the plate, 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch is bounced in front of home plate. Lincoln Lumpstead does a good job of preventing that from going to the backstop. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. 1-1 pitch, and that one is flied out to right center. Over comes Keels. He won't get there, and that'll roll all the way to the wall. Jones is being waved around third. Aggressive base running, in the throw from Younger is offline. It's an RBI double for Jake Gensler to put the Redbirds on the board here in the first inning. That one was sent a long way, even out of the reach of Trey Keels, the fastest man, maybe even in the entire league, but definitely on the field, and it was still by him. So that'll bring up the best hitter for the Redbirds. It's Aiden Feather. Feather has 3 home runs on the year, and he takes the first pitch up high, 1-0. That's the first earned run allowed by a Hatcher all season as a starter. Comes in the playoffs. Just never know what you're going to get in the postseason. He didn't allow an earned run when he started the entire regular season. Just about getting comfortable knowing that he's starting, is what John Bivens said. And now Feather shoots one out to center. Keels goes back to the warning track. And he has just enough room in front of the fence to make the catch. Tagging and going from second to third is Gensler. It's a long second out from Aiden Feather to put Gensler on third base. If this game was at Lakewood, that ball might have been out of here. At War Memorial Stadium, it's 335 in the corners and 380 in the alleys, which is where Feather hit that one. At Lakewood Park, it's 350 all around. As Wes Bonney takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Ball misses low from Hatcher. Count evens up at a ball and a strike on Bonney. And he lays off the 1-1 pitch. Count goes to 2-1. Two one from Hatcher. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Two from Hatcher. And that ball is inside. And now the count runs full. Here's the payoff pitch from Hatcher to Bonney. And fouled off into the Redbirds dugout. Bryce Jones had his glove half on. He swats it away. So we'll do the 3-2 again from Hatcher. And that one's hit to the left side. And the shortstop, Younger, throws it to first in time to retire the side, but not before a run scores in the first for the Redbirds, who take an early 1-0 lead as Jacob Reganey takes the mound. Trey Keels starting off and fouls off the first pitch from Jacob Regini, 0-1. So it's Keels, the starting center fielder. Gavin Spencer is batting second, playing left. Bryce Lane, the third baseman, batting third. TJ McGowan is the first baseman in the cleanup hole. Aiden Pinto, the designated hitter, batting fifth. Lincoln Lupson, the catcher, batting sixth. Batting seventh and playing right field, Emmett Jefferson. In the 8-hole, Christian Henderson is playing second. And Dominic Younger, the shortstop, batting ninth. 1-1. Self sets up away and count goes to 2-1. Two-one offer, and Keels pops that one out of play. 2-2. Two-two pitch and fouled off again. Keels lays off that pitch, and the count is full on Regini's first batter. Keels, in his limited playing time with Virginia Beach, does lead the team in OPS, batting with over a 1,000 on-base plus slugging as he lays off that pitch. He nods his head. Keels takes a big couple of breaths out of the box. Awaiting a 3-2 from Regini. He's moving fast and swing and a miss for strike three for out number one. Regini fans the first batter that he sees as he gets Keels on a 3-2 fastball. That'll bring up Gavin Spencer. And the righty takes the first pitch up high, 1-0. And now he's evens up the count, 1-1. Spencer was 1 for 4 in the regular season against the Redbirds as he fouls that pitch off. And there's a high fly ball out to left center. And waiting for it is the center fielder Bryce Jones. And he reels it in for the second out. So 2 up and 2 down for Regini, after the Redbirds gave him an early lead in the first. Bryce Lane is the 3-hole hitter today, and the first pitch that he sees from Regini bounces on top of home plate, 1-0. Lane has only played in 1 game against the Redbirds. He went 0 for 4 that day as Regini fires in a strike. And that one is rolled over to the second baseman, Feather, who bobbles it a bit, throw to first, not in time. And Bryce Lane is aboard. It was a routine play for Feather, who bobbled it and then couldn't beat out Bryce Lane, who was running out of that box. I'll bring up TJ McGowan. McGowan takes the first pitch up high, 1-0. McGowan was an even .300 in the regular season for Virginia Beach. Long hold from Regini, and his offer misses up high again. 2-0 the count. That was an error on Aiden Feather that allowed Lane to reach. And there's a called strike, 2-1. Lane had 3 stolen bases in the regular season. Regini from the stretch, 2-1. That one misses up high. McGowan did not have a hit in his last 3 games to end the regular season as he pokes that one foul. The count runs full. Here's the 3-2 to McGowan. Lane will be in motion on first. And first Regini will check in on him. McGowan was 2 for 5 against the Redbirds in the regular season. Payoff pitch from Regini. Fly ball right field. Trey Wright is backpedaling, and he makes the catch. So Regini throws a scoreless first inning to keep the Redbirds atop 1-0 in the 2022 PCL quarterfinals. Get your game on with D-Bat of Virginia Beach. Baseball, softball, training, and more. D-Bat of Virginia Beach is a state-of-the-art facility with over 17,000 square feet, 13 batting cages, and professional instructors who don't just know baseball and softball, but live and breathe it. You can find them located at 5258A Fairfield Shopping Center in Virginia Beach. You can call them at 757-467-1111. You can also visit their website at dbatofvirginiabeach.com. Zach Jarnowski leading off the top of the second for the Redbirds, and kept the Sea Dogs off the board in the first inning. First pitch to Jarnowski misses low and away, 1-0. And he hits the 1-0 line into left field for a base hit. Second hit of the day for Norfolk. And they have the leadoff man aboard for the first time today. I'll bring up the left-footed Trey Wright. It's Chris Dodolo. Gives him and Jarnowski the signs. And Wright bunts and pushes it to the left side. Lane is there. His throw to first is not scooped up by McGowan. And there are now 2 men aboard. So Wright just tried to sacrifice himself. He ends up arriving safely on the error. The second time today is now Justin Lakos is getting the signs from Chris Dodolo. See if he is asked to bunt. He is back. He's actually pretty close up in the box. Which is always an indicator as to whether or not a hitter will bunt or not. He is bunting and he pulls away 1-0. Typically, when you're up in the box, you have more room for the ball to go fair than foul. It's the opposite if you're back. So Self is still up in the box. Also up in the count, 1-0. McGowan is really in at first, and the 1-0 is pushed to the first base side. Hatcher comes off, and that bunt is fielded cleanly. But it puts 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out for Justin Lakos. So executed bunt from Trevor Self to put Jarnowski on third and Wright on second. Robert Hatcher, a long hold from the stretch, and it's fouled off right to the on-deck circle batter, Logan Stein. And Lakos pushes that one to Hatcher. He's going to come home with it, and the throw is in time to get Jarnowski. Oh, what a play from Robert Hatcher. Took a risk coming home with it, but he's able to throw out Zach Jarnowski for out number 2. Back to the top of the lineup for the Redbirds as Logan Stein gets ready to make his second plate appearance. Stein rounded out to third on the first pitch of the game. Stein had 4 runs batted in the regular season as he fouls off that pitch from Hatcher. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Redbirds had runners on second and third with 1 out after a bunt, and there goes the runner Lakos from first. Pitch is hit out to right field. Back goes the right fielder, Emmett Jefferson, to make the catch, and Robert Hatcher works some magic. He gets out of that inning unscathed with his team still trailing 1-0. Bottom of the second inning here from War Memorial Stadium. Jacob Berghini's squad still leading 1-0 as Aiden Pinto swings out of his shoes there, 0-1. Robert Hatcher works some magic. There was runners on second and third with just one out after a sacrifice bunt. And ended up getting out of the inning unscathed as that pitch is lined into center field. A base hit for Pinto and the first hit of the day for Virginia Beach. So we saw the Redbirds playing some small ball in the top half of the inning. We'll see if Virginia Beach wants to do the same with Lincoln Lubson at the dish. The catcher, he's up in the box as well. With Pinto on first, Virginia Beach trails by a run, but Lubson is swinging away and he leaves the pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Lubson hit .258 in the regular season. And he fouls that pitch off his front foot. One ball and one strike on Lubson, and he takes a called strike from Regini, 1-2. And it's a high fly ball over towards the right side, but that'll go out of play. So count will remain at 1-2. Lubson was 3 for 7 against the Redbirds this season. 3 out of his 8 hits. Definitely was the team he was most productive against. Just able to lay off that pitch from Regini. Count is now even at 2-2. No one out here in the first after Aiden Pinto. Or in the second, rather, after Aiden Pinto singled into center field. 2-2, there goes Pinto, pitches up and in. And Pinto steals the bag, and the count is now full on Lubson. So Pinto, who did not steal a single stolen base in the regular season, steals his first of the post. That puts a runner in scoring position for Lubson. Lubson had 2 RBI in the regular season for Virginia Beach. I'm trying to tie the game with Pinto in scoring position, no one out. And Lubson fouls it off, making Regini work. Here's the payoff pitch from Regini, and the breaking ball is too high, ball 4. And the Sea Dogs have their first 2 batters on base to start the second inning. That'll bring up Emmett Jefferson, the right fielder. Jefferson was 1 for 6 against Norfolk this season. The corners are in. Expecting a bunt from Jefferson. Jarnowski and Bonnie are the first and third baseman. Jefferson is up in the box. Pinto's on second, Lubson on first, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the second, Virginia Beach trails by a run, and Jefferson is being asked to bunt, and he pulls away. Pitches a ball. Now, Trevor Self is going to go out to talk with just Jacob Regini, and so Emmett Jefferson will go out to his head coach, John Bivens Jr. So on the top half of this inning, the Redbirds put down a bunt down the third base side. Bryce Lane was unable to field it, so it put runners on first and second, nobody out. Then the next batter, Trevor Self, did lay down a clean bunt, and so put runners on second and third with one out, but Virginia Beach was able to come out of the inning unscathed. And that one is swung out and hit to the shortstop, Lakos. His throw to second is over the head of Feather, and it'll roll all the way into the right field foul territory. A run will score, and it does put runners on second and third. It also ties the game with nobody out. So how about that coaching decision from John Bivens? After Jefferson pulled away his bunt on the first pitch, Trevor Self went out to talk with Regini. Jefferson swings away, and it produces a run and puts two in scoring position for Christian Henderson. Henderson takes the first pitch inside, 1-0. So that's an error on Lakos. It's a tough play going to his backside. And Henderson lines the pitch right to Lakos, who snags that one out of the air for the first out in the second. That'll bring up the shortstop, Dominic Younger. Younger just had a single RBI in the regular season. He has 2 ducks on the pond with 1 out, and he takes the first pitch fastball from Regini, a called strike, 0-1. Redbirds defense is back, except for Jarnowski. So as that ball is bunted by Younger to Regini, and he tries to flip it home, but he can't come up with it. The ball goes out of his glove, and another run comes in to score for the Sea Dogs as they take the lead 2-1. Younger bunted that one right back to Regini. He would have had Lubson out by a mile, but he just couldn't get the ball out of his glove, and everyone is safe. And now Chris Dodolo is going to go out to talk to Jacob Regini along with the Redbirds defense. Regini just has no one to blame but himself there. He is frustrated with himself. So Chris Dodolo trying to calm him down. Long and explicit conversation being had with Chris Dodolo and his defense. The home plate umpire is going to come out, and Dodolo will break it up himself. The Redbirds now trailing for the first time today. Seen a lot of guys attempt or put down bunts in the second inning. 4 batters. That'll bring up a guy who can certainly bunt out for a hit. Looks like he won't be doing it in this position. With runners on the corners and 1 out for Trey Keels. And there goes Younger. Throw down from Self. And Younger steals the bag. So now there are 2 runners in scoring position for Trey Keels. Keels had 4 RBI for Virginia Beach. He's 0 for 1 today, and he steps out of the box and calls time. In fact, all of his 4 RBI came against the Redbirds. He lays off that pitch above the head, 1-0. His first game came against Norfolk, where he knocked in a run, and then the last time these 2 teams met at Lakewood Park, Keels sent one over the left field wall, a 3-run homer that accounted for his only home run of the season. 1-0 from Regini, and again it misses up high, 2-0 the count. Keels ended the regular season drawing 3 walks in the final 2 games. And now they're going to intentionally walk Keels to load the bases with 1 out and Gavin Spencer coming into the box. Spencer's 0 for 1 today. Regini from the windup fires in a strike. And that one is hit to the left side, off of the glove of Regini. And everyone will move up 1 bag. Jefferson scores. It's now 3-1 Sea Dogs. Wes Bonney probably would have had a play on that ball if Regini had just let it go. But it skims off the top of his glove and extends the Virginia Beach lead. Bases are now loaded for Bryce Lane, who foul tips that one into the glove of Trevor Self. 0-1. Lane had a grand slam in the regular season, and he hits that one out pretty deep to right center, and that ball will take 1 hop and go to the fence. 2 runs will score. Lane is diving into third. It's a bases clearing triple for Bryce Lane, and it's 6-1 Sea Dogs. Bryce Lane did not have a triple the entire regular season, but he clears the bases with a 1-out triple. And that ball hits TJ McGowan. He's shaken up a bit. And Robert Hatcher, starting pitcher, goes out to check in on him. That'll bring up Aiden Pinto. Pinto led off this inning with a line drive single. 6 runs have come in to score for the Sea Dogs in a winner-go-home game. And there goes McGowan, and the pitch is in the dirt. Self doesn't see it. It's a stolen base for McGowan. And the 1-0 to Pinto is a called strike. Evens up the count, 1-1. It's been a long second inning for the Redbirds out there. There's someone warming up. Alex Gianniscoli in the bullpen. Certainly not what Chris Dodolo was hoping from his starting pitcher. The shadows are creeping onto the pitcher's mound, which is an advantage for the pitchers and not the hitters, as the ball ducks into the shadows. 3 balls, 1 strike on Pinto. Runners on second and third. Here's the offer, and that one hits Pinto in the head, and he goes down immediately. Pinto is moving his hands and his fingers a bit, as now he is getting back up. The crowd applauds Aiden Pinto. John Bivens is putting up fingers for Pinto to tell him how much he's holding up. It's the second hits batter of the inning. Regini, as Pinto knows that wasn't intentional from Regini, gives him a wave. So that'll load the bases for Gavin Spencer. And he really has an opportunity to put this game away, but it looks like that'll be all for Jacob Regini. He just records 4 outs and 6 Sea Dogs score. He is responsible for everyone on base. Alex Gianniscoli is going to come out of the bullpen. We'll be right back here on the Tidewater Summer League YouTube channel. Alex Gianniscoli comes into a big spot with the bases loaded. The corners are in for the Redbirds, and Gavin Spencer lays off the first pitch, 1-0 the count. Jacob Regini with his shortest start of the season. Playoffs are really where you can make your number or lose it. One ball and one strike on Spencer. Lubson fouls it off the end of the bat, 1-2. Already 6 runs have scored for Virginia Beach in the inning. Lubson was one of those runs. Gianniscoli, he made a start against Virginia Beach. It was the only time that he pitched against them. And he, like Regini, couldn't get out of the second inning. Started the last game that these two teams played in the regular season. Got 5 outs, allowed 7 runs, walked 6 batters as well. Now Chris Dodolo needs him. Can really use a ground ball. Leave all the inherited runners stranded. They're all under the account of Regini if they would come in to score. 2-2 from Gianniscoli. On its way. And Lubson lays off, and now the count is full. Nowhere to put Lubson. Norfolk is already trailing by 5 runs after they took an early lead in the first. Here's the 3-2 offer. And it's inside, ball 4. And it'll bring in another Virginia Beach run, 7th of the inning. It extends their lead to 7-1. It's the second walk of the inning from Lubson. This one produces an RBI. So I'll bring up Emmett Jefferson. Trevor Self sets up away. And Gianniscoli misses low. Jefferson had 5 RBI in the regular season. Just hit a .172. And he pulls that one down the third baseline. Just foul. Emmett Jefferson came inches away from what potentially could have been the second bases clearing hit of the inning. Now Dylan Blazer is jogging out to the Redbirds bullpen, so early action after Gianniscoli just got in. And the 1-1 is on the inside corner, a called strike. One-two, Self sets up away. And again, Gianniscoli misses low. Two-two pitch. And the second consecutive batter has drawn a full count on Gianniscoli. There's only 1 out here in the second inning. And the payoff pitch is inside, and again, another run is walked in. So Emmett Jefferson will get a postseason RBI. It's the 8th run in the second scored by Virginia Beach. I'll bring up Christian Henderson. He is 0 for 1. He recorded for the only out in the inning as he swings and misses And strike one. He had a hard line drive. That was hit right to the shortstop, Justin Lakos. 0-1 from Gianniscoli, and Henderson shoots that one foul, and he's now behind 0-2. Oh-2 from Gianniscoli. Self sets up away, and swing and a miss for strike three. So Henderson has accounted for both outs here in the second. And it'll bring up Dominic Younger. Younger bunted on himself and hit it right back to the pitcher. First pitch is carried on one hop by Wes Bond, and he steps on third to end the second, but not before 8 runs come in to score for the Sea Dogs to take the lead at the end of 2. At the end of that second inning, Chris Dodolo gathered around his entire team to have a whole conversation with them, try and spark them up, down by 7 runs here in the third inning of a winner-go-home game. But this is it's baseball, and no lead is insurmountable. It's not like any other sport where there's a clock running on you and you have time against you. You have all the time in the world. In their last regular season game, the Redbirds were trailing to Virginia Beach 10-1. They ended up clawing back. It was 12-8. That was that game where it was rained out as Jones hits a fly ball to center where Keels waits for it. It was that game where we were 1 strike away from making an official game. Never got there. Commissioner Dooley did make an executive decision to make that game official. So they were down by 9 runs. Ended up cutting it to 4 before the game was shortened. So they definitely have the ability to come back. They were down by 9 runs at the end of the third. The end of 2, they were down by 7, so it's certainly surmountable. Jake Gensler knocked in the only run today for Norfolk. He's up at the dish now. It's the first earned run allowed by Robert Hatcher as a starter, as the shadows continue to creep up to the pitcher's mound on the turf field. 2-0 pitch. That one misses. It's 3-0. And the 3-0 is inside. It's a 4-pitch walk for Jake Gensler. He's now aboard for the second time today. So I'll bring up Aiden Feather. He flew out to center field in his only at-bat. Ended up moving Gensler from second to third. He's off that pitch from Hatcher, 1-0. So the winner of this game will take on the River Bandits on Thursday evening. And Feather shoots that one out to left. And in comes the left fielder, Spencer. He dives and can't make the catch. So a walk and now a single from Aiden Feather puts runners on first and second, and 1 out for Wes Bonney. Spencer had to come a long way for that ball. And just a couple feet short. Bonney, the All-Stars, 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to short to end the first inning. Hatcher steps off with Gensler dancing over on second. First pitch to Bonney is outside, 1-0. Henderson holding Gensler very tightly at second. That ball flied out to left again, and again it'll fall in front of Spencer. Gensler's going to be held up at third with the arm of Spencer out in left, and now the bases are loaded with 1 out. As John Bivens asks Robert Hatcher a question, he nods his head. I'll bring up Zach Jarnowski, who singled and was stranded on third base in his only at-bat. Jarnowski had 7 RBI in the regular season. Now John Bivens is going to jog out to the mound. And following him is the rest of the Sea Dogs infield. Sea Dogs are the higher seed in this game. They were 5-9 in the PCL regular season. Norfolk was 4-13. They are the 5 seed. With Virginia Beach the 4 seed. The 3-seeded Knights advanced previously today here at War Memorial Stadium with an 11-3 victory over the Voyagers. 1-0 is inside to Jarnowski, 2-0. And the 2-0 is hit towards the hole. Younger comes up with it. Throw to second is in time for the second out. A run does come in to score for Norfolk. It cuts the lead to 8-2. And it puts runners on the corners. West Bonnie is eliminated off the base paths. As Jake Gensler comes in to score. That'll bring up the lefty Trey Wright, one of two left-handed batters in the starting lineup today for the Redbirds, and he fouls off the first pitch from Hatcher straight back. The River Bandits will host either of these teams, have not lost to any of them. Beat the Redbirds 2 times. Virginia Beach 3. 1-1 pitch, and Wright lets that one sail up high, 2-1. Two one to Wright. And that one misses outside. It's now 3-1. Hatcher has already walked one batter in the inning. That was Jake Gensler, who came around to score the run. Three-one pitch. And it's up and away for ball 4, and that'll load the bases for the second time this inning. So that'll bring up Trevor Self. Sack bunted in his only plate appearance in the second inning. Now can do some damage. The base is loaded and 2 outs. Self had 7 RBI in the regular season. First pitch he sees is rolled over to Henderson at second, and he throws to first in time to retire the side. The Redbirds leave the bases loaded here in the third, but they do score a run to make it 8-2 Sea Dogs. Trey Keel steps into the box for the third time today, and it's only the third inning. First pitch that he sees from Alex Gianniscoli is outside, 1-0. Sea Dogs sent around 14 batters in the second inning that produced 8 runs. Those are called strike 1-1. Redbirds did score a run in the top half of the inning as they try and claw back into this one. With their season in jeopardy, Gianniscoli is trying to work some innings after Regini was held to his shortest outing as a starter this season. He's just able to record 5 outs. 4 outs. And Keels nubs that one off of his foot. Two balls and 2 strikes on Keels. Struck out, and he was intentionally walked in his last at-bat. And that pitch is inside to Trey. Count is full. I mentioned earlier that Keels walked 3 times in the final 2 regular season games. He has an intentional walk today. He's also struck out. 3-2 offer. Keels fouls it off. We'll do it again. Here's the payoff pitch from Gianniscoli to Keels. And fouled off again. Dylan Blazer is still getting loose at a slow pace in the bullpen for Norfolk. This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat to Keels. And high fly ball out to left center gap. Chasing it down is Stein, and he makes the running catch. So Keels is retired for the 2nd time today. We'll bring up Gavin Spencer. First pitch to Spencer. Misses low. Spencer had an infield single and came in to score last inning. As he pops up that ball out of play, evens up the count 1-1. Spencer trying to get things started with 1 out. After an 8-run inning for Virginia Beach, he rolls one over to Bonnie for the 2nd out. So Gianniscoli starting to settle in. He's retired the last 4 batters after walking the first 2 that he saw. That ball hits Bryce Lane. And Bryce is now jogging over to first. Not what Gianna Scully had intended. It's the third time today that Bryce has reached. Tripled in his last at bat, cleared the bases. He also reached on an error back in the first. There's TJ McGowan. He was hit by a pitch and he takes a strike at the knees. Shadows are starting to cover the mound as Gianna Scully throws over to Lane. A 1 pitch. And that ball misses in. Ground ball, left side. Lakos flips to second in time to retire the side. So the Redbirds keep Virginia Beach off the board in the third. We'll head to the fourth inning here from War Memorial Stadium with the Sea Dogs up 8-2. Get your game on with D-Bat of Virginia Beach. Baseball, softball, training, and more. D-Bat Virginia Beach is a state-of-the-art facility with over 17,000 square feet, 13 batting cages, and professional instructors who don't just know baseball, but live and breathe it. You can find them located at 5258A in Fairfield Shopping Center in Virginia Beach. You can also call them at 757-467-1111. You can also visit their website at dbatofvirginiabeach.com. 8, 9, and 1 due up in the order for the Redbirds after they were able to manufacture a run in the previous inning. They're going to need to try and get some more. Try and cut into this Virginia Beach lead. Sea Dogs scored 8 runs in 1 inning. See if that inning is the nail in the coffin for Norfolk. There's a 4-pitch walk drawn by Lakos to start the first. Or the fourth inning, rather. It's the second time And Norfolk has gotten the leadoff man aboard. The one time that they did get their leadoff runner, they ended up not scoring. The only 2 innings that they've scored is when the first guy has gotten out. So we'll see if that script can flip. First pitch swinging, and Justin Lakos hits a looper into center. In comes Keels to make the catch. Keels loses his hat. That'll bring up Bryce Jones. Lefty steps into the box for the 3rd time today against Robert Hatcher. He first pitch swings and hits a ball on the ground. McGowan is there, steps on first for the 2nd out. Lakos was in motion on that pitch, so hit and run put on by Chris Dodolo. Saying some words to his dugout. Maybe not what he wanted out of Bryce Jones. That first pitch to Gensler is a called strike, 0-1. Gensler has reached base safely twice today. And an RBI double that produced the first run of this game in the 1st inning. He also walked and came in to score. So he's been a factor of both of Norfolk's runs, trying to produce another one with Lakos in scoring position. Two pitches up high, 1-2. And 1-2 is fouled straight back by Gensler as he lives to see another pitch. Aiden Feather is on deck for Norfolk. Gensler can keep the inning going. Hatcher's ahead on the count, 1-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Hatcher steps off. He tries to get on the same page as Lubson. Hatcher, 1-2. Misses outside, and the count evens up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. There goes Lakos. Gensler fouls it off towards the right side. And we'll do it again. I'm not really sure what the point of Lakos trying to steal there does for you. I guess he would score on an infield single, but other than that, with 2 outs, down by 6, there's not much of a reason to be doing that. As Younger is now holding him tightly at second. Gensler calls time. Now Hatcher will step off. Don't think that the steal was put on from Dodolo. Hatcher's done a good job of pounding the zone today. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And side is retired. Hatcher leaves a runner stranded in scoring position as we head to the bottom of the 4th. here from War Memorial Stadium in the 2022 PCL quarterfinal. Home half of the fourth inning. Virginia Beach up by 6 runs, trying to extend their lead. First pitch misses to Aiden Pinto from Giannis Scully, 1-0. Dylan Blazer still out there in the bullpen. He's kind of just hanging around right now. Giannis Scully has settled in. As that ball is popped up shallow in the outfield grass, and Aiden Feather makes the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up Lincoln Lubson. Lubson walked twice in his only 2 at-bats that were both in the second inning. Fouls off a pitch off of Trevor Self. Stodler going to go out to check in on his catcher. As Chris Stodler puts his 2 hands on his shoulders to make sure everything's all right. Sure, Lincoln Lubson knows that feeling. As now he has some words with Self, being a catcher of himself. Redbirds just need Giannis Scully to keep dealing and throwing up goose eggs. That in his last inning, looking for another one as Lubson sends the 0-1 out to right. And chasing back is Trey Wright to retire Lubson. That'll bring up Emmett Jefferson. Jefferson is 0 for 1. He reached on Lair. He also walked. Scored a run. And first pitch to Emmett is on the outside corner. 1-0. So now the Shadows have completely reached from home plate to the pitcher's mound. So that puts the advantage back to the hitters at a normal rate. As it continues to creep into the outfield grass. Jefferson takes a called strike 1 and 2. sure that it's been happening all season. So 1-2 gets by self, evens up the count at 2-2, but it's a lot easier to tell where the shadows are at an elevated surface where we are today. Redbirds have not had a 1-2-3 inning today. 2-2 from Gianniscoli, and it misses up high. Gianniscoli looking to do that right now. They tried the first two batters of the third before he hit Bryce Lane. Payoff, pitch swing and a miss, strike three. 1-2-3 inning for Alex Gianniscoli. And it'll send us to the fifth inning here from War Memorial Stadium, with the Redbirds still trailing 8-2. Four, 5, and 6 still up in the order for the Redbirds as we start the fifth inning here in the PCL quarterfinals. Aiden Feather, high fly ball. Waiting for it to come down is Spencer, and he reels it in for the first out. So Feather now 1 for 3 today. Bring up Wes Bonney. He's 1 for 2. He comes into his third plate appearance. And Bonney lays the first pitch inside, 1-0. If all works out, and the Redbirds should score this inning as Bonney fouls one off towards the right side. McGowan comes for a look, but runs out of room. Every time that the Redbirds have gotten their leadoff man on board, they haven't scored. And every time the first batter of the inning got out, they have scored. Aiden Feather flying out to start the fifth inning. That means that they should tack on at least a run. 1-1 rolled to the shortstop. Younger fires to first for out number 2. I'll bring up Zach Jarnowski. He's 1 for 2 today. He knocked in a run, and the bases were loaded with a fielder's choice in his last at bat. Now steps up with 2 outs and nobody on. Takes the first pitch fastball for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 is bounced by Hatcher. Count evens up, a ball and a strike. That one's laid off by Zach, 2-1. Trent Jones, the brother of Bryce, is in the on-deck circle. As Jarnowski leaves low, 3-1. He would come into bat for Trey Wright, who was 0 for 1 today. He also walked. 3-1 from Hatcher, and Jarnowski rolls that one through the hole for a base hit. Second hit of the day for Jarnowski. He's 2 for 3. And the Redbirds have a man aboard with 2 out. Now Trent Jones will step into the box for the first time today, making his postseason debut for Norfolk. Jones was just 1 for 10 and 11 plate appearances in the regular season. Drew a walk. Struck out 4 times. Did knock in 2 runs though. 1-0 from Hatcher. And there's a called strike, 1-1. Trent can keep the inning going. Trevor Self would be next. 1-1 offer, and that one is popped up. Henderson will play it on a hop and throw to first to retire the side. So Hatcher leaves the Redbirds off the scoreboard again in the inning, as we are halfway through here at War Memorial Stadium. New arm on the mound for the Redbirds. It's Dylan Blazer. And his first pitch is inside to Christian Henderson, 1-0. These are called strike, 1-1 the count. 1-1. That one's hit to the left side. Justin Lakos fires across to first for the first out. First pitch swinging, he had a fastball. Dominic Younger, 0-1. Blazer did not pitch in the regular season against Virginia Beach, as Younger rolls one over to third. Bonnie stays under it for the second out. So 2 quick outs recorded from Blazer. An 8 and 9 hole hitters, and that'll bring up Trey Keels. Keels 0 for 2 with a walk today. First pitch from Blazer is a curveball and misses up high, 1-0. Keels half swing, went around and fouls it off, 1-1. Sea Dogs have only scored in 1 inning today, but they produced 8 runs back in the second. As that breaking ball just misses outside from Blazer, 2-2. Blazer did come in with Ben Adams, so he's now behind the plate. He was catching him out in the bullpen. And there's a 3-1 ball, so Keels walks for the second time today. The first one where 4 balls were actually thrown. He was intentionally walked back in the second. So that'll bring up Gavin Spencer. He's 1 for 3 with an infield single. That was also in the second inning, where the Sea Dogs did their damage. And Blazer throws over to Keels. It gets by Jaranowski, and Keels will go to second. Blazer has the scouting report on Keels. Not having ever faced the Sea Dogs, he doesn't even throw a pitch to Gavin Spencer. Goes over to Keels and throws it away. Spencer, fly ball, shallow center. In comes Jones to make the catch and retire the side. So we've played 5 innings here at War Memorial. It's the Sea Dogs 8, Redbirds 2. Robert Hatcher back out there for his 6th inning of work today. And his first pitch to Ben Adams is thrown away, 1-0. Hatcher has not gone more than 6 innings in a start. In fact, he hasn't gone more than 4 1/3 since opening day, where he went 6 2/3 against the Steamers. 1-0 to Adams, and that one misses inside, 2-0. So although he allows his first earned runs as a starter, Hatcher is giving his team some length. 2-0 to Adams, and those are called strike, 2-1. Sea Dogs swept the Redbirds in the regular season. Can be tough when you sweep a team in the regular season and have to play them in a single elimination game in the post. But so far, so good, as that ball is poked out to right, and over comes Emmett Jefferson to make the catch. Jefferson was on the run in order to haul down that ball to retire Adams for the first out in the 6th. I'll bring up Justin Lakos. And Lakos takes a first pitch strike from Hatcher, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch misses up and in. Evens up the count, 1-1. One offer. That one bounced in the dirt. Count goes to 2-1. That one is fouled straight back. Count evens up, 2-2. Jason Bosher came into the game in the last half inning, is on deck for Logan Stein. But first, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Lakos. Hatcher delivers, and it's lined out to Keels in center, who snags it for the 2nd out. And we'll bring up Bosher. Stein, as the leadoff man, went 0 for 3. Failed to even reach base. The left fielder steps into the box for the first time today. He takes the first pitch, fastball for a called strike, 0-1. Bosher was 10 for 34 in the regular season. And a breaking ball from Hatcher catches the inside corner, and he's quickly ahead, 0-2. Hatcher has not had a 1-2-3 inning all afternoon. Looking for his first one today. Here's the 0-2 to Bosher. Struck him out. Lupson places the tag. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Robert Hatcher as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Sea Dogs up 8-2. Mercedes-Benz of Virginia Beach has earned a reputation as one of the Hampton Roads' most trusted luxury car dealers. Since their establishment in 2014, they found themselves as a premier name for Mercedes-Benz sales with exceptional service and unbeatable selections. If you're looking for a newer pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, they are the place to go to, being the premier dealership in Virginia Beach with a vast selection and unbeatable prices with easy leasing and financing. They're located on 4949 Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach. You can find them at 757-499-3771. You can also visit their website at mercedes-benz of virginiabeach.com. Dylan Blazer back out there for his second inning of work, and his first pitch is fouled off to the backstop by Bryce Lane. 0-1. Bradshaw Morrison is currently throwing in the Redbird bullpen, so he will be next in line for Norfolk, who trails 8-2. If you're just joining us, the Redbirds scored the first earned run off of Robert Hatchard this season as a starter. In the regular season, Hatchard did not allow a single earned run when he started a ball game. Redbirds got to him early. They scored a run in their first 3 batters. And then in the second inning, Virginia Beach sent 14 men to the plate, scored 8 runs. Redbirds ended up hitting in the third inning, tacked on another, which made it 8-2, which is where we have stood for the last 3 innings. Fly ball, shallow center. In comes Jones, diving, and he can't get there. Lane hustling on to second. The throw is dropped by Lakos. It's a hustle double for Bryce Lane to lead off the home 6th. The second extra base hit of the day and the postseason for Lane. It's the third time today that Virginia Beach has the leadoff man on. Feather holding Lane tightly at second. And that ball, oh boy, nearly hit McGowan as he shakes his head. He's already been hit once today. That ball was coming right for his head. One-0 from Blazer, and McGowan shoots that one to the hole. That'll go into right field. Lane is going to be held up at third, but Jones bobbles it. And now Lane will come in to score, and the throw goes to second. But it goes by Lakos. So McGowan, who would have been thrown out at second had it been a good throw from Trent Jones, instead it was offline, and Lane and McGowan trade spots. The Sea Dogs tack on their first run since the second to make it 9-2. It's an RBI single for McGowan, who takes second on the error out in right field from Jones. Aiden Pinto was 1 for 2 today. He's also gotten hit by a pitch, and that ball is up and in. Blazer starting to lose some control after he had a scoreless first inning. Already a run in the 6th with nobody out. 2-0 pitch. 3-0 from Blazer. And that one catches the corner. 3-1. Pinto fouls that one straight back. 3-2. Neither of these teams will have a home game, regardless of who was to win. The 1 and 2 seeds are getting a bye. Greenbrier advanced earlier today. They are the 3 seed. As Pinto pokes one out to center, overcomes Trent Jones. He makes the catch, tagging and going to third, but now thinking better of it is McGowan. I'll bring up Lincoln Lubson. Lubson's 0 for 1. He's walked twice. The first pitch that he sees from Blazer is fouled over towards the right side. 0-1. A 1 to Lubson, and that one is fired in the zone. 0-2. Oh, 2 from Blazer, and that one just misses. One ball, 2 strikes on Lubson. That one sails upstairs. 2-2. Redbird pitching contributed to just 3 strikeouts today. Jacob Bergini, who started, struck out his first batter, but that was the only one. As Lubson goes down swinging on a foul tip for out number 2. So after back-to-back hits to start the inning for Virginia Beach, Blazer retires Pinto and Lubson. Emmett Jefferson is 0 for 2 today. He has reached on an error and walked. He's both back in the second. First pitch that he sees from Blazer is rolled over to third. Bonnie is there, and his throw to first is too high, and it gets by Jarnowski. Here comes McGowan. He's going to slide into the plate safely to score the second run of the inning for Virginia Beach. It puts the Sea Dogs up 10-2 in the 6th. That play should have ended the inning. Blazer got what he needed, a ground ball. But Bonnie unable to make a clean throw. He hasn't played third base all season for Norfolk. It's the second time today as Henderson rolls that one to feather. This throw is in time to retire the side. 2 more runs coming to score for Virginia Beach. They extend their lead. It's now 10-2 as we head to the 7th inning in the 2022 PCL quarterfinal. Jack Mork making his postseason debut up at the dish, and he takes the first pitch for a ball from Robert Hatcher, 1-0. Hatcher, if he is able to get through this inning, it would be the first time all summer that he's pitched 7 innings in a start. Just a tale of 2 different stories. Jacob Bergini making his shortest outing, and Robert Hatcher potentially making his longest outing. So the Redbirds continue to dig into their bench. Nicholas Jazikowski is on deck. And 2-1 from Mork is swung through, 2-2. Two from Hatcher, and Mork swings on a pitch in the dirt. Lubson's going to have to throw over, and it's in time for the first out in the 7th. Back-to-back strikeouts from Robert Hatcher after he struck out Bosher to end the 6th. He starts the 7th by striking out Mork. Hatcher just had 1 strikeout in his first 5 2/3 innings, and now in last 2 batters, he struck out both of them. Jazikowski takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Virginia Beach defense has come to play today. They have 0 errors on the board today. Certainly has helped Hatcher out. Jazikowski chops one over the 3rd. Going to be a tough play for Lane. His throw to first. Oh, it was in time, but McGowan just couldn't squeeze it. So, of course, right when I mention it, the Sea Dogs decide to potentially have their first error. We'll see how they score it. Now Jazikowski is running back to the dugout, so I guess he'll have a pinch runner. It'll be Brady Kenter on first. I guess they are giving an infield single to Jazikowski. It was a tough play by Lane, who did make the play. Throw to first was on line. But McGowan just couldn't squeeze it as Aiden Feather takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Feather's 1 for 3 today. Hit 2 fly balls to the outfield. He's also had a single. Here's the 1-1. And there's another fly ball out to left center. Moving to his right is Keels. And he grabs it for the 2nd out. Gonna have another new batter. Jackson Hughes in for West Bonnie. So a complete turnaround in the Redbirds lineup. Bonnie was 1 for 3 today with a single. Grounded out to the shortstop 2 times. He was retired. And Hatcher's first pitch to Hughes is on the outside corner, a called strike, 0-1. Brady Kenter is on first, pinch running for Jazikowski, who was awarded an infield single. Here's the 1-1. And that one is punched foul. So Hatcher is one strike away from going 7 innings. It would be the first time all summer that he goes that length. He's at 100 pitches. Here's the 101st. And it's in there, a called strike 3. Robert Hatcher has gone 7 innings for the Sea Dogs here in the quarterfinals of the PCL playoffs. It's stretch time here at War Memorial Stadium with Virginia Beach up 10-2. New arm on the mound, it's Bradshaw Morrison, the third man out of the bullpen for the Redbirds to start the 7th inning. Let's have a slightly new defense. And he throws a first pitch strike to Dominic Younger, 0-1. Jack Morrick out in left field now, and Jackson Hughes over at third. He has a play to make. Throw to first is in time to get Younger for out number 1. So, tough opportunity the first time that Hughes comes into the game defensively. He's able to retire Younger for the first out in the home 7th. It's the second time, actually third time today, that Younger has rolled one to the third baseman. I'll bring up Trey Keels, the leadoff man. 0 for 2 and a pair of walks. Takes a first pitch strike from Morrison, 0-1. And all Virginia Beach today since the second inning. And they were able to put up an 8 spot. Scored 2 runs in the 6th inning to tack on to their lead. The 1-1 from Morrison sails away. Two-one offer. That one's bounced in front of home plate from Morrison, who now wants a new baseball. There's some action in the Virginia Beach bullpen. So that will probably be it for Robert Hatcher. Goes 7 innings, his longest outing of the season, and throws 101 pitches. One out walk to Trey Keels will bring up Gavin Spencer. So for the 3rd consecutive game that extends from the regular season to the postseason, Trey Keels has walked 3 times in a game. The first walk today was intentional, but we're still going to count that. Gavin Spencer's 1 for 4 today. He takes a first pitch strike from Morrison, 0-1. And there goes Keels. That ball is poked out into right. Over comes Jones. He makes the catch. Now Keels has to go back to first. And he arrives safely. It's a good effort from Jones out and right. But Trey Keels is so fast, he was able to go to second and back to first before Jones can throw him out. Bryce Laney has 2 extra base hits today. He sends that one to backtrack Jones, who makes the catch for out number 3. We've played 7 innings from War Memorial Stadium in the quarterfinals of the PCL playoffs. Sea Dogs up 10-2. Robert Hatcher is still out there. The right-hander has gone 7 innings today. He's thrown 101 pitches. And his first pitch is a fastball to Jarnowski, called strike, 0-1. So I guess John Bivens' figures, hey, I've already lost him for Thursday, so might as well push him until he can't go. And the 0-1 is rolled over to Henderson. Throw to first for out number 1. Norfolk just has 1 hit since the 4th inning. That just kept them in check. And there's the first pitch. Fastball again for a strike to Trent Jones. 0-1. Jones grounded out to second in his only at bat today. Came off the bench in the 5th. 0-1 from Hatcher. And that one just misses. 1-1 as the count evens up. 1-1. Lubson sets up inside, and it's fouled off. Adams is on deck for the Redbirds. We're now down to their final 5 outs of the season. 1-2 from Hatcher, and that ball nearly hits Jones as he tucks his head. Count evens up at 2-2. Two from Hatcher. That one is drilled, but foul and into the parking lot by Jones. So we'll do the 2-2 again. From Hatcher to Jones. And that one is rolled over to third. Lane goes back on it. Throw to first is too high. It sails over the head of McGowan, who flips onto his backside. And now going to second is Trent Jones. So a good 2-strike approach there from Trent Jones. Just put the ball in play. And he arrives on second base with 1 out. See how much longer John Bivens wants to leave Hatcher in there. He did get his job by getting the ground ball, which would have been the 2nd out if it weren't for the error on Bryce Lane. Ben Adams flew out to right field in his only at-bat, and he takes the first pitch inside, 1-0. Take a huge comeback if the Redbirds were to keep their season alive. Two-0 pitch, and Adams leaves it in. Redbirds have scored double-digit runs 3 times this season, as Adams takes all the way. On opening day, he scored 11 runs against the Voyagers in a victory. They won all 3 times that they put up double digits. Then against the Bonnier Barnstormers of the Piedmont Collegiate Baseball League, they put up 11 as well. And now John Bivens Jr. is going to go out to talk to Robert Hatcher, and that'll probably be the end of the line for him. He goes 7 innings and 1/3. He doesn't look happy that Bivens is about to pull him. Christian Henderson shrugging his shoulders. He's like, hey, come on. You had how many pitches? Chris Sinclair's a couple steps out of the dugout, and it looks like Hatcher convinced his way to stay in. So after an error that allowed Jones to reach, Hatcher walks Adams, puts runners on first and second. And at 114 pitches, Robert Hatcher has convinced John Bivens to stay out there. Chris Sinclair was a couple steps out of the dugout, so he will come in relief for Hatcher whenever that is. And Lako shows a bunt. He gets it down. Hatcher fields his position nicely. Throw to first for out number 2. And now John Bivens is coming out again, this time with Chris Sinclair. Not sure if Hatcher... This time John Bivens isn't even going out. It's just Chris Sinclair so that Hatcher can't convince his starting pitcher. So that's the end of the line for Robert Hatcher. He gets a handshake from his head coach. He has matched his longest outing of the season with 6 2/3. He's allowed 2 runs. He is responsible for the runners in scoring position, but hoping that Chris Sinclair can hold on for him. Welcome back into the Tidewater Summer League YouTube channel. Hayden Bandel here with you. First pitch from Chris Sinclair is a called strike to Jason Bosher, 0-1. Sinclair comes into relief for Robert Hatcher, who tied his season high in a start. This time it comes in the postseason. As Sinclair misses away, 1-1. Hatcher is in line for the win. That ball misses low to Bosher, 2-1. Sinclair made 2 relief outings for the Sea Dogs in the regular season. As that one is chopped over to third. Lane another play. Throw to first is scooped up that time by McGowan to retire the side. So Sinclair gets one big out to leave two runners stranded in scoring position as we head to the bottom of the 8th from War Memorial Stadium. Four, 5, and 6 due up for the Sea Dogs in the home half of the 8th inning. TJ McGowan lays off the first pitch. It's outside and off of the glove of Ben Adams, 1-0. McGowan swings through the fastball, 1-1 the count. McGowan went around according to the home plate umpire, 1-2. One, 2 is in the dirt, 2-2 the count. Two-two offer. And McGowan able to lay off on the fastball outside, 3-2. And there's a full count walk drawn by McGowan to start the home 8th. This is Aiden Cool now pitching for the Redbirds. That ball gets by Adams, and over to second goes McGowan. Cool's from Roanoke College. Played one game for the Redbirds up in Richmond. And got called up to go play for the CPL, and now he's back here. The 1-0 was fired in, 1-1. One ball, one strike. And Morris Ford, who's actually pinch hitting, takes a called strike, 1-2. Ford hitting for Aiden Pinto, DH today. Went 1 for 3, was also hit by a pitch. And 1-2, Ford able to hold back. Count evens up, 2-2. Ford hit .351 in the regular season. Knocked in a handful of runs. And the 2-2 swing and a miss for strike 3 for the first out in the bottom of the 8th. Redbirds trailed 10-2 after they scored the first earned run off of Robert Hatcher all summer in the first inning. The Sea Dogs in the second scored 8. One in the third scored by Norfolk, thanks to an RBI fielder's choice from Zach Jarnowski. And then 2 more runs came in to score in the 6th inning for Virginia Beach. That's where we hold. It's 10-2. Called strike on Lubson, 0-2 the count. And the Redbirds are going to need to score at least 8 runs in the 9th inning. Virginia Beach does have a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Lubson, who's behind 0-2. That ball misses outside from Cool, 1-2. Due up in the 9th is the 2, 3, and 4 spots for Norfolk. That's Morik, Jazikowski, both who didn't start, and then Aiden Feather. And there's a called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cool, and there are 2 down in the 8th. So now Emmett Jefferson, he is 0 for 3 today, but in 4 plate appearances, he's reached 3 times. He reached on 2 errors. He also walked in the 2nd inning. First pitch that he sees from Cool, he swings out of his shoes. 0-1. A 1 from Cool, and that one misses low and away, a 1-1. Jefferson lays off that pitch just outside. Count goes to 2-1. Jefferson had 3 extra base hits in the regular season, 2 doubles and a home run. Now he's ahead 3-1. And the 3-1 is rolled over to Lakos. Throw to first is in time. So we'll head to the 9th inning in the quarterfinals of the PCL playoffs. Redbirds trail by 8 runs. Chris Sinclair out there to close it for the Sea Dogs in the 9th inning to try and send his team to the semifinals. Jack Morrick leading off. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, and he chops one foul down the left side. Sinclair had 2 outings out of the bullpen for the Sea Dogs in the regular season. He went a total of 5 innings. He allowed 8 earned runs. As he gets Morrick to fan on the 1-1 offer. Went 3 innings in the regular season finale against the River Bandits, allowed 9 runs, 7 of which were earned. So in his only other outing, as Morrick pushes one to the right side, Henderson is there for out number 1. His only other outing against the Voyagers, he just allowed 1 run in 2 innings. There's a tough Tarboro lineup that Sinclair was dealing with, but the Sea Dogs are going to have to find a way to deal with it, as that will be their next opponent, as they are 2 outs away from setting up a date with the River Bandits. Brady Kenter is getting his first at-bat after he came in to pinch run for Nicholas Jazikowski in the 7th inning. Jazikowski reached on an error. 1-0 to Kenter, and that one sails away from Sinclair, 2-0. Two-0 pitch, and that one misses well outside. Three-0 pitch, and that one misses outside again. It's a 4-pitch walk drawn by Brady Kenter. And the Redbirds have a base runner in the 9th. Aiden Feather, he's 1 for 4 today. With a single, he's flown out to left and center field. The 3 times he was retired, and that pitch sails right behind him. And over to second goes Kenter. As Feather circles around the batter's box. A potential final at bat for Feather. It's been one heck of a season for him. 3 of the team's 4 home runs, and that one is at the head of him again, 2-0. On the team in home runs, RBI, doubles, you name almost any offensive statistic, Feather leads Norfolk. And he checks his swing. Lubson checks, and he didn't go around. So that's 7 straight out of the zone from Sinclair. The last thing John Bivens would want to do is waste another arm. And that ball catches the inside corner, 3-1. Three-1 from Sinclair. And that one is pushed out into center. Over comes Keels. He loses his hat again, but makes the catch. Kenter thought about going to third, but ended up staying put. And now the Redbirds are down to their final out of the season. As Jackson Hughes steps into the box for the second time today. Hughes is 0 for 1. He got called out on strikes against Robert Hatcher to end the 7th inning. Now Sinclair's trying to get him to end the Redbirds season. First time that the Redbirds are seeing Sinclair. And the first pitch to Hughes is 1-0. If Hughes can keep the inning going, Zach Jarnowski would be next. Jarnowski is 2 for 4 today. That pitch misses low from Sinclair. It's 2-0. Walked Kenter on 4 pitches, was behind on Feather 3-0. And for the third consecutive batter, Sinclair falls behind 3-0. And the 3-0 is in there, called strike. In his 5 innings of work in the regular season, Chris did walk 5 batters. And there's the second walk of the inning. So the game prolongs as Zach Jarnowski is going to make his 5th plate appearance. And John Bivens is going to go out to talk. And he might actually be pulling Chris Sinclair. With 1 out left to go, Trey Keels is jogging in from center. And Dominic Younger has the baseball in his hands. So it will be a pitching change for the Sea Dogs. Dominic Younger is going to come in for relief. And Trey Keels will come in to play shortstop. We'll be right back after this. Dominic Younger, first pitch is up and inside. Brushes Jarnowski off the plate, 1-0. So So Younger, who started the game at shortstop, was there the entire day, now on the mound. And he's struggling to throw strikes. Trey Keels came in from center to short, and replacing him in the outfield is Chris Sinclair, who was on the mound. There's a first pipe strike thrown from Younger, 2-1 the count. Younger made 3 relief outings in the regular season, and now he has the Redbirds down to their final strike of the season. 2-1, 2 out, 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch from Younger, and it's fouled straight back. So I'll do the 2-2 again. From Younger to Jarnowski. 2-1, 2 out, 2-2 the count. Pitch from Younger, and that one is lined to Lane, who makes the catch to retire the side. Dominic Younger comes in, gets 1 out, and sends the Sea Dogs to the PCL semifinals. They defeat the Redbirds 10-2 to complete the sweep. They go 4-0 overall against Norfolk, and that's the end of the line for the Redbirds. The Sea Dogs take this one 10-2. They scored 8 runs in the second, 2 in the sixth, to eliminate the Norfolk Redbirds. They will play on Thursday night against the Tarboro River Bandits. They have not beaten Tarboro all year. They're 0-2 against them in regular season play, but all it takes is one game to knock out Tarboro. Robert Hatcher gets the win tonight, and Jacob Reganey will get the loss. Hatcher, it was really a tale of 2 different stories. Hatcher tied his regular season mark for the most outs he recorded in a start. He goes 6 innings and 2/3, and for Jacob Reganey, it was the exact opposite. His shortest stint of the season, he goes 1 inning and 1/3, allows 8 runs. So that'll end the line for the Redbirds, as the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs are moving on to the PCL semifinals as they defeat the Redbirds 10-2 here at War Memorial Stadium. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I'm Hayden Banzel. We'll be live in Edenton on Thursday night as the Steamers host the River Bandits. Have a great night, everyone. Signing off from the Tidewater Summer League YouTube channel.